फर्क है एक बार सोच के छोड़ देने में और लग के कर दिखाने में। मान लेने में कि जिंदगी ऐसे ही कटेगी और सुबह 4 बजे उठ के सोचने में कि अभी तो बस शुरुआत है। किसी मैगजीन को हाथ में लेने में और उसी मैगजीन के कवर पेज पे होने में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वीआईपी सीट में और उसकी पिछली सीट में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वो जिसका मैदान ही खुला आसमान है वही कल जमीन पर तो था। पूछोगे तो बताएगा वो पंछी ये एक दायरे में सिमटने में और पूरी दुनिया को दायरा बनाने में बस इतना सा फर्क है। इतना कितना है? इतना है या इतना है? जो नापेगा वो जाने कि जहां धरती और आसमान मिलते हैं, नानकुर से दूर अगर मगर शायद से दूर, वहां भी दोनों में फर्क बस इतना सा है। धरती और 7वें आसमान में फर्क बस इतना सा है। ये एक अंतर प्रेरणा है। ये हमारी, आपकी, हम सब की अंतर प्रेरणा है। एक कदम, एक छलांग, एक बाजी, एक गहरी सांस और एक ललकार खुली हवाओं में कि हाँ मैं बना हूं उन फिजाओं के लिए, कि हाँ मैं बना हूं उन ऊंचाइयों के लिए जो ऊंची तो बहुत है पर नामुमकिन भी नहीं, क्योंकि मुमकिन और नामुमकिन में बस इतना सा फर्क है। धूप छांव में फर्क बस इतना सा। तो बस चलिए फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया के साथ ये फर्क मिटा देते हैं। फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया।
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us on this special series of Business Opportunity Over Chai. Business Opportunity Over Chai presented by the management of Franchise India with an aim to introduce you with the new business opportunity every day at 12 o'clock. With the same aim today also, we are going to introduce you with a new business opportunity into F&B industry. But before I introduce you with the brand, let me just run you through with the Q&A process. If you have any questions during the webinar, please type your question into the Q&A box. We will take up all your questions from the Q&A box post our presentation and the brand brief. So while we'll run you through with the presentation and the brand brief, I would request you to keep sharing your questions, your queries, also suggestions with interest of city into the Q&A box so that we can give you maximum details and you can explore this platform fully. So let me just introduce you with the brand. We do have Mr. Naeem Khan, the co-founder of Biryanipalayam, here today on this platform from India's most authentic biryani brand. They are providing franchisees for Cloud Kitchen and they are very famous in South for their biryanis. I would like to welcome Mr. Naeem on this panel today. Welcome, Mr. Naeem, for joining us on this panel. We do have Mr. Shivanand from Bangalore, Mr. Kapil from Chennai, and Ms. Gayatri from Hyderabad. They are leading this brand into these locations. We have Mr. Ashok Kumar who will be helping you out in understanding the commercial part. I would like to welcome all the panelists who have joined us today. And I would want to request Mr. Naeem to start sharing his journey and the brand details for all the participants who are watching in live right now to make them understand about the brand and the franchisee opportunities available with this brand to join hands. Over to you, Naeem ji.
Thank you, Neha. Hi, everyone, all franchisee prospects and the Franchise India team. My name is Naeem Khan. I'm the MD of Biryanipalayam restaurant. Biryanipalayam is an extremely famous restaurant in South India, especially in the Kongu belt. We are a multi-cuisine restaurant. Though the name has the word biryani in it, we have all the items that you would expect from a multi-cuisine restaurant like grill, shawarma, tandoor items, Chinese items, North Indian and South Indian dishes, and also specific Kerala-oriented dishes. We have been in existence for the past 3.5 years. We started right after the first wave of COVID. And we pride ourselves in 4 important mottos. No Ajinomoto, no preservatives, no food coloring, and daily fresh oil. With this mantra, we set out to start our business 3.5 years back, I brought in my technical experience. I have been working in the IT industry for the past 23 years. I was a director of global escalations at Dell Technologies for 20 years, out of which 10 years I was in the US, where I gained my MBA. I have worked for Philips Medical Systems in the past, and I've also been an instructor for network engineering. So I brought in my management experience, my team leading experience into this new business, and we have been running it quite successfully. We, apart from serving food to the public in the city that we are in, we have an all India tie-up with Indian Railways, which allows us to set up a cloud kitchen or an outlet outside any railway station in India and deliver food to the traveling train passengers. We have our own outlets in Erode, Tirupur, and we have franchise outlets in Chennai, Salem, and Palakkad. This tie-up with Indian Railways allows us to solve two major problems. Firstly, there is a huge question mark around the food that is available on the trains or in the railway stations. The hygiene is a big question. The cleanliness, we don't know how many people have handled the food, what protocol they have followed. And also the variety that is available. It's quite predictable. It is quite monotonous. We know what is going to be available there. So we solve both of these problems for the customer. We are ISO 2002-2018 certified, which stands for Food Safety and Quality Management. So we are able to provide them extremely delicious as well as hygienic at the same time. We also are able to provide any multi-cuisine dish that they are desirous of. For example, shawarma, grill, tandoor, biryani, all of this, erstwhile it has been unheard of during a train journey. So we have solved these problems for them. When the customer enters their PNR number in an app called Food on Track, the app basically shows them all the railway stations that their train is going to cross, along with the times when it is going, along with the times that it is going to cross those stations. And the customer basically decides based on the timing when they want to have their lunch or dinner, and based on that they will choose the city. And my goal is to be present in every railway station that the train may cross based on the times that it will cross. For example, if the train crosses Erode Junction at 1 p.m., they would choose Erode, and just like they would order from Zomato or Swiggy, they would order whatever dishes they want, and the order will come to our back end, and we would prepare the food and go into the railway station, go to their train, go to their coach, go to their seat, and deliver the food right to them in their seat itself. So such an experience is extremely memorable for traveling passengers, especially when they are going on a business trip or on a vacation. They want to take care of their health and they want to order only the most hygienic food. So we are in the market for such customers. So coming to the business aspect itself, we have three different types of franchise models. The first model is called the FOFO model, which stands for franchisee owned and franchisee operated. In this model, the franchisee is the owner of the outlet, but we provide them all the back-end assistance for them to run the business themselves. So they are deciding to dedicate their time, effort, energy into actually running the restaurant as if they have created it from scratch. But the advantage of having us in the back end, providing them with the masalas, the recipes, the intricate knowledge of how to maintain stock, maintain inventory, wastage management, marketing, all of that from the back end, we will assist them in doing. So the first thing to know about the FOCO model is that they would run the operations themselves with our backend support. The costs associated with this would be that all the assets that we have purchased to run the restaurant will be in their name. So they would be the owner of everything that is in this business. There is a royalty to be paid to the brand, which is 8% of net sales. But except for this additional expense compared to if they had started their own restaurant, compared to this additional royalty expense, the entire profit is for them to keep. And I can tell you the numbers here. The estimated cost of this investment would be in this FOFO model. The franchise fees is 3 lakhs. The setup cost and initial inventory together, all of that together would come to around 17 lakhs.
Nainji, if you can just share on screen also, because we can see the WhatsApp, only the video is not played yet.
I see. Okay. Are you able to see now?
Yes, it's visible.
Yes.
Okay. So this is the financial snapshot where in the FOFO model, the franchise fees is 3 lakhs. The setup cost and the initial inventory altogether would come to around 17 lakhs. There is always a working capital required to run the business until we touch the break-even point. In our business, the break-even point is around 5 to 6 months. So during this time, before touching the break-even point, we would need to have a corpus to actually fund our expenses, because during this time, the income would be less than the expenses. So we would need to set aside this 6 lakhs to actually pay the rent, pay the salaries until we touch the break-even in 5 to 6 months. So putting all of this together, we come to the 26 lakhs of investment. 1 additional lakh is set aside for the property deposit. So the total investment that is estimated for a FOFO model is 27 lakhs, with including the franchise fees of 3 lakhs, including 1 lakh rupees of property deposit, and also 6 lakhs of working capital. This 6 lakhs will not be spent immediately. It is to help us through the journey towards the profitability. So here there is a royalty to the brand of 8%. And we are expecting the sales projection to be around 50,000 rupees of sales per day, which is 15 lakhs of sales per month, or 1.8 crores of sales per year. I will show you the financial calculations of how this FOFO model looks. So this is the FOFO model financial analysis. The projection that we are making is 1.8 crores of sales, out of which the expenses would be taken out of, and we will calculate the profitability. The food cost is the first expense to be aware of in any restaurant or food business. Food cost is basically the ingredient cost. Whatever edible ingredients you have put in to prepare a food dish that you are selling for 100 rupees. So in our restaurant, the food cost is around 38 rupees. For any sale that happens for 100 rupees, 38 rupees has already been spent in procuring the ingredients to prepare that dish. So when the income is 1 crore 80 lakhs, and I have put in a conservative additional food cost of 42% for our calculation, so that the reality is much better than our projection. I have put in a projection of 42% of food cost, which gives us a food cost expense of 75 lakhs. So the income minus the food cost would give us the gross margin of 1 crore 4 lakhs. And this is the amount available to us to take care of all the operational expenses. So when you look at what are the operational expenses, we have the royalty to the brand, we have the maintenance expenses, we have rent, we have salaries, we have utilities, the fuel, gas, all of that put together. For the first year, we are estimating that the operational expenses would be around 68 lakhs, 88,000. So the total income minus the food cost minus the operational expenses gives us an EBITDA of 35 lakhs 27,000 for the first year. And this is the income that the franchisee can expect to have for the whole year, which comes to around 2,93,000 for the whole year. And this, when you factor in with your investment, you can get back your investment in 7 months of operation. And one important point to remember is that 7-month period starts from the time of break even. So until the point of break even, you are actually spending from the working capital corpus. And from the point you have touched break even, within 7 months, we are going to get our entire investment of 27 lakhs back. And then from that point onwards, it is growth and profitability. So this is the financial breakdown of the FOFO model. Let me shift to the FOCO model. There may be prospective franchisees who are not able to spend the entire their entire day running the business. So in this FOCO model, they are the owner of the location of the Biryanipalayam site. They are the owners of all the assets, but they have outsourced the operational aspects to the brand. So we from Biryanipalayam employ the staffs. We take care of running the day-to-day activities. If there is a pipe leakage, if there is a issue with the workers not turning up on time, discipline issues, all the cost aspects except for rent will be borne by the brand. So since they are the owner of the location, they would take care of the rent as well. But apart from the rent, all the groceries, all the wages, all operational and food cost expenses will be borne by the brand. And here also we anticipate the projected income to be, or the sales to be 1.8 crores. Out of this 1.8 crores, a royalty or a revenue share of 8% is shared with the franchisee owner. Except for paying rent, they have not invested any other time or effort into the creation of that site. Everything can be taken care of by us, but they are able to get a steady source of income. Though it is not as high as in the FOFO model, this is a very steady and risk-free source of income because none of the cost calculations comes in the picture while calculating the payout for the franchisee. It is a very easy 8% of whatever sales happens. I'll give you a simple example. For sake of calculation, I'm using 10 lakhs as a month's sales. If we have done a 10 lakh worth of sales in a month, the royalty to the FOCO owner would be 8% of that, which is 80,000. But that same month, if the expenses incurred by the brand happened to be 8 lakhs, then the brand has made a profit of 2 lakhs. But for some reason, due to some miscalculation or stock reordering, if the expenses had reached 11 lakhs that very month, then the site is at a negative 1 lakh of revenue, right? So whether it is a 2 lakh profit or a negative 1 lakh return, the calculation for the franchisee owner does not get affected. It is always 8% of sales, and that is the steady source of income. So this is the FOCO model, and let me show you the financials of this. So in this FOCO model, the estimated sales is again 1.8 crores. The investment, including the working capital requirement provided to the brand, is 28 lakhs. And the revenue shared with the franchise owner is 8%. So 8% of 1.8 crores is 14 lakhs 36,000. Now, the only expense expected out of the franchise owner is the rent. So after paying the rent from this revenue share, the return of investment for them every month would be in the tune of 1 lakh per month. Now, if the sales is extremely high, the 8% value is extremely high. If the sales is very low, then the 8% is also low. So there might be a question coming in your mind: how low of a revenue share is acceptable for me, or how low can I expect it to be? So to solve this problem, we have a minimum revenue share guarantee. And that is actually 20% of your entire investment. So 28 lakhs was the investment in the FOCO model. 20% of 28 lakhs is 5.6 lakhs. So no matter how low the sales has gone, you're guaranteed to receive 5.6 lakhs for that 1 year. For example, the 12 months of revenue share will be calculated, and at the end of the year, if the payout for the franchisee owner has only been 5 lakhs, we will make up the difference and pay 60,000 to the franchisee owner to meet the minimum guarantee. And this minimum guarantee, as I said before, is 20% of your investment. And the reason we have chosen 20% is because over a period of 5 years, it adds up to 100% of your investment. So 100% of your investment is the minimum guarantee that you can expect as a return. And the reality obviously will be much better based on the high sales. So if the sales goes on as projected, the return of investment is around 12 lakhs after paying the rent, right? Now, we should also remember that all the assets is owned by the franchisee owner. Apart from the minimum guarantee, I have to say that though 100% of the investment is the minimum guarantee, nobody invests in a business just to keep 100% of their money safe. They want growth. They want to see more profits. So we have a term in our contract that says that our goal is to double your investment at the minimum. And the way we ensure that is, the clause says that if for some reason we do not double your investment within the 5-year contract period, we would automatically extend the contract by 2 more years and continue to work for you until we double your investment. If you look at this financials again, you can see that the cumulative ROI is touching 198% of growth at the end of year 4. For some reason, if this has not been achieved until the end of year 5, the contract automatically extends by 2 more years and we continue to work for you and we ensure that we double your investment. And only at that point do we come to the franchisee owner again for a renewal of the franchisee agreement for 5 more years. And at that time, there is a franchise fee, a renewal fee of about 70% of today's franchise fee that has to be paid for renewal for 5 more years, and we continue to work for you. Now, for some reason, if at the end of the 5-year contract period, if the franchisee owner decides to not renew or not continue the business any longer, then all the assets belonging to him could be sold in the market. The brand can buy them back, or we can find a buyer who is offering a better price for those kitchen equipment, the vehicles, all the infrastructure. So the assets are there as belonging to the franchisee owner, and obviously they can be sold, but obviously with depreciation. To solve this problem of depreciation, we have created a new model called the FICO model. FICO stands for Franchisee Invested, Company Operated. In this model, the franchisee owner's investment is 29 lakhs, which includes a 5 lakh rupees of franchise fee, all the assets that can be bought from it, and the property deposit. So out of the 29 rupees of investment, 5 lakhs is the franchise fee and the remaining portion is 24 lakhs. The ownership lies with the brand. The company owns that location and the company runs the operations. In this investment model, the franchisee owner gets a revenue share of 5% of whatever sales goes on in that outlet. As I said before, the company is the owner of that location, but that ownership was funded by the investor. So the investor actually pays us a lump sum of 29 lakhs. With this, the brand goes and looks for the location, pays the property deposits, buys the assets, starts the business, starts making sales, and whatever sales is happening, 5% of that is shared with the FICO franchise owner. Here, I'll show you the financials. This is the 5% revenue share calculated out of the 1.8 crores projected sales. That comes to 8,97,000 per year. There is no other expense that the franchise owner needs to pay, like the rent, which was a part in the FOCO model. Here, there is no more financial obligations from the franchisee owner. This happens for 5 years. So after paying 5% of sales for 60 months, the franchisee owner will get a return back of the entire investment except for the franchisee fees. So after 60 months of 5% revenue share, at the end, they would get back their investment except for the franchise fee. So out of 29 lakhs minus the franchisee fee, 24 lakhs would be returned back to them. In this model also, there is a minimum guarantee of 20%. 20% of 24 lakhs is 4.8 lakhs. So no matter if the sales was low for the entire year, if the 5% revenue share for 12 months fell below 4.8 lakhs, we would make up the difference and make sure that the minimum guarantee of 4.8 for the year is met. And this happens every year. Just for the sake of more clarity, let's assume that the sales was low for the entire duration of 5 years, and every year the franchisee owner got back only the minimum guarantee. So it is 4.8 lakhs for the first year, 4.8 lakhs for the second year, and so on for 5 years, which means that they have got back 24 lakhs at the end of 5 years. And then additionally, they are going to get back 24 lakhs again, which is the principal amount that they have paid. So even if the business is running at minimum guarantee for 5 years, this is a hypothetical case just for clarity, they would make double of their investment, 1x through the minimum guarantee and 1x through the return of 24 lakhs. Obviously, the reality will be, as we have projected, it is 1.8 crores of sales per month. And just to put things in context, we are doing about exceeding 2.2 crores of sales for the year. So we have chosen a very conservative number as our projection. And going with in the FICO model, the prospective franchisee can aim to triple their investment at the end of 5 years. And this repayment of the investment also can be done in two terms. 50% can be paid at the end of the 4th year, and 50% can be paid at the end of the 5th year. This ensures that their payback period to get back one time of their investment is 27 months, a little over 2 years, but they are going to triple their investment by the end of 5 years. So these are the three financial franchise models that we have created, and I believe I have covered most of the aspects of our restaurant. This would be the type of cloud kitchen that we would be setting up. It would have the biryani making area with the bulk ranges, the tandoori area, the Chinese and the Indian cooking ranges, the main Marys, the pot wash area, the grill machine, the mandi machine. So all of this is estimated, included in the estimate. And we have the proficiency to execute this in a very seamless manner. And I'm open to questions now. If anybody has any questions, I'm very happy to share. Over to you, Neha.
Thank you so much, Mr. Khan. This was very well explained. And I'll request friends, if you have any questions on the model, and there's a working that was done on the three models in terms of what your revenue and also your return on the investment would be. We'll be happy to send and share these with you also on a one-to-one and post our one-to-one discussion. And So I'll take some questions. Friends, you can write your questions in the Q&A box. I'll be happy to take that. And Mr. Khan, we can remove our presentation from the screen. We can all come back on the screen. So a couple of questions which I like to take, and friends, just to kind of reiterate on the model, there are 3 formats, which includes owned and operated by you as a franchisee. The other is where you make the investment and the company takes care of the operations. And in this case, you take care of only rental, and the other operating expenses are taken care by the company. And third is a pure investor model where you are funding the investment. So at the end of your term, you get the principal back that you have invested minus the franchise fees. And you also get a revenue share, which comes to you on a monthly basis. So based on your time availability or interest to run and operate, you can choose any of the 3 formats. So a location plays a very important role when it comes to, a format like that. How much efficiency per square feet or the throughput is being created is very, very important. So they've created a format which is extremely interesting because they have a national tie-up with the railways. There are orders, which also brings predictability of how many deliveries that you do on an average, and every junction, would have a franchise partner tied up with that. We'll take more details on how it would actually work from Mr. Khan. And there are typically 3 investments when you talk about starting up the restaurant. One is your interior cost, the other is the equipment that goes inside, and third is the franchise fees cost. All these expenses put together, the investment is between about 17 lakhs to about 25 lakhs based on the format that you want to consider. Your operating component, a large component of that goes into the food cost. In this case, what I understand, the food cost can go up to about 42%. And the royalty is about 8%, and that is about 50% between food cost and royalty. And addition to that, you have a utility, you have HR, and you have rent. And after taking out all these expenses, on an average, 15 to 20% should be your bottom line. So, Mr. Khan, if you can also explain the breakup of the investment, how much, out of that 17 lakhs goes towards your interior cost, how much of that goes towards equipment? That is one question which I wanted to take up. And also, if you can explain, while I saw you shared some absolute numbers of what revenue one would do and what kind of returns one would have. But if you could also explain typical rentals that we are considering in this format, and maybe giving an example of the 5 locations that you currently hold. If you can take some examples from the current location for a easy reference and understanding.
Sure. So I'll address them in the order that I remember those questions. I think the first question was the composition of the 17 lakhs investment. So the trade licenses, site infrastructure, electrical, plumbing work, that comes to around 1.5 lakhs. The kitchen equipment and the working setup is what is the most costliest part of that investment, which comes to around 9 to 10 lakhs. We would have 2 delivery vehicles, each of them, both of them amounting to around 1.5 lakhs. We would have the technology and the POS systems, the computer, the billing software, the CCTV, other infrastructure like hardware, printers, kitchen display system. All of that comes to around 3 lakhs. The initial raw material we would purchase for about 1 lakh, and also the initial marketings and promotion would be 1 lakh. All of that adds up to 17 lakhs. And then we have the working capital of 6 lakhs, a franchise fee of 3 lakhs, and then the property deposit of 1 lakh estimate. So that takes the investment to 27 lakhs. And as I said before, except for the franchise fee, everything else is on actuals. So the franchisee owner would see the bill, they would pay to the vendor directly. So there is it's not a concept of lump sum and then the brand saves some money by getting cheaper equipment. No. So the owners directly know where we purchase from and they pay the owners directly. Can you remind me the second question?
That was on the operating expenses, and especially I think there are 2 components that you clarified. One was the food cost, which is about 42%, 8% is your royalty. What is the component that we take towards rental? Because that is one component that also forms a bigger
Sure.
your operating expense.
Correct. So,
And
so
also
being
HR cost, so we don't need it's an idiot-proof model, so we don't need any specialized staff, so to say, but typical
exactly.
staff requirement and salary structure for a staff in these formats.
Sure. So, being a cloud kitchen, the main advantage here is that the location is not of extreme importance, except to say that the railway station should be reachable within 5 to 10 minutes. So, a radius of 1 or 2 kilometers from the railway station, and that gives us a lot of options to choose from. We need not be in a very prime location, a main junction road, to attract the attention of the traffic. It could be a residential area, it could be a 1 BHK apartment, which we convert into a cloud kitchen. So we are expecting the rent to be extremely low, even in a metro city, maybe around 20,000 to 25,000 is the average rent that I'm anticipating.
How much is it, Mr. Khan?
Sorry, say again.
How much did you say is the rent?
Average of 20,000, 25,000, we can find an apartment, and it's only a 700 square foot area that we require to set up our cloud kitchen. And from that kitchen, of course, we will have the train deliveries, but being a cloud kitchen where the food production is going on, we will also tie up with Zomato, Swiggy. We also have our own app and website through which we take in orders, and we can do home deliveries in the neighborhood as well. And we will also be open for takeaway, people coming in, ordering and picking up the food. So these are the 4 revenue channels, and the rent aspect is around 20,000 average.
And the staff salaries, how much would that translate to approximately?
The staff salary, let me share my screen where I'm showing the breakup. So this is the bottom part of the page talks about the wages. We need 12 workers, 2 main chefs, 2 assistant chefs, 5 delivery boys, 1 manager, 1 cleaning person, and 1 extra I have included. So 12 people are required, out of which 5 of them are delivery boys going into the railway station or doing home deliveries. We have calculated their average salary for the 12 people. For some it will be 30,000 a month, for some it will be only 15,000 a month. So when you do an average, it comes to around 22,000 average salary per employee per month. So the rent alone would cost us around the wages alone costs us around 31,68,000. And that is what we have included here in the FOFO analysis as wages, 31,68,000.
Helpful.
And you touched upon an interesting point about the qualifications of the chefs. So basically, we provide the franchisee owners with the chefs, which we have trained ourselves. But if the franchisee owner has somebody, maybe in their extended family or someone that they want to employ, we can train them in a matter of 7 days. We can train them and employ them in that location. And I want to touch upon one interesting thing. How we make our biryani is using our biryani paste. So that paste actually has the biryani masala. It has the onion, tomatoes, ginger, garlic, salt, pepper, everything that needs to be added. So at the franchisee outlet, all that they need to add is rice, water, oil, and meat. Of course, in the correct procedure, correct steps, and in the correct order. And they have to maintain the timing for leaving it for dum and breaking the dum. But you don't need a separate person to chop 25 kgs of onion, 25 kgs of tomato. You don't need somebody to grind up the ginger garlic paste. All of that it's like instant biryani. So you can almost call it chefless, but we are staying away from that term because you need qualified people to actually follow. It's like Maggi noodles, which tastes the same in every home and anybody can make it, but it's a little bit more complicated, but we provide everything needed to do it.
And Mr. Khan, you also talked about the average revenue of about 10 to 15 lakhs, which one kitchen can make or a cloud kitchen can make. How long does it take to reach, say, that optimum level of revenue is one of the questions. And if you can also help us in understanding the split, how much would the railways contribute, how much would deliveries contribute, how much would the platforms also contribute to the overall revenue?
Okay. So if I understood your question right, we are asking about the break-even point, how long it takes to actually touch the break-even point, right?
It's about 10 lakhs, because if we take 10 lakhs as a benchmark, does that
No,
happen
no, no.
second month,
Okay.
third
Sure.
month?
So,
How long it takes to reach that level? And out of
okay.
that 10 lakhs or 15 lakhs that we are projecting, what is the split from the
Mhm.
platforms
Okay,
and
got
from the
it.
railways in terms
Great,
of
great.
the value
Got,
of the order?
got it, got it. Yeah, I can touch upon that. So it is not 10 lakhs. I was using 10 lakhs just for clarifying that FOCO royalty model. But we are projecting 15 lakhs of sales for the month, which gives us a revenue for the year of 1.8 crores. And the way we have achieved that is the 4 revenue channels, the Swiggy Zomato channel, the train deliveries, home website deliveries, and pickup takeaways, right? So we are using an average ticket size of 200 to calculate this figure. And if we estimate the number of Swiggy and Zomato orders per day to be just 88 orders, which is quite low for an established restaurant, then the revenue just from Swiggy and Zomato is 64 lakhs 24,000. If we calculate around 98 orders per day in the train deliveries, with just 200 as the average ticket size, we are getting a revenue of 71 lakhs 54,000. 30 orders per day, same average ticket size, 21 lakhs 90,000, and 30 people coming in to pick up and go, right? So this gives us the year's revenue or sales of 1.8 crores. And yeah, this is the split. And you brought up this is a good segue to go into the actual example of a few orders. So this is how the dashboard looks for the train deliveries. So if you see today, we had an order value of 826 rupees. If I go into this, we can see that these are the items that they have ordered. This is the tax component, this is the delivery charge that comes to the brand, and the total charge to the customer is 826 rupees. So this one bill of 826 has actually taken care of 4 of our projected bills, because our projection is only 200, but this one order has taken care of 826. So someone may have a doubt of whether, okay, can we do 98 orders a day? Can we do 88 orders a day? For the sake that is done for the sake of calculation, but in reality it's going to be much better, where we are going to have orders like this, and that is the beauty of train deliveries, right? So we see 826 rupees order, we have 469, 364, 417, 350. All of these are almost double or 3 times our projected average ticket size. So it is very easy to get these orders and achieve those goals of 15 lakhs of sales per day. And people do not mind this. So I'll give you a small example about the cost, right? So the chicken fried rice, this same one that has cost 209 rupees for this passenger is sold in our restaurant for 160 rupees. So it is almost 60 rupees higher quoted for the train deliveries, and people are okay with it because that is the price that they're paying for the convenience, for the hygiene, for the variety, right? Imagine how else they would have got Hong Kong chicken fried rice and Szechuan chicken fried rice in their train journey. So most of the orders also come from high class coaches, like the first class AC coaches. For this very example, the passenger, Mr. Lalan Joseph, is traveling in first class AC A2 coach seat number 9. So we have a very lucrative model where the market is full of people who are willing to spend that amount of money for the convenience. So this is a new travel luxury, not exactly luxury, but travel convenience retail business. And also one more thing to add is the railways takes 15% of commission for every order, right? So for the month's worth of order, there is a platform fee of 15% of sales. Just like Swiggy and Zomato take 20-25% of sales as their profit, their platform fee. IRCTC also charges it. And that is the reason the price is also hiked up to make sure that the commission doesn't eat into our profits.
Bottom line, yes. And Mr. Khan, how long does it take for somebody to reach 15 lakhs? How many months?
Okay. Yes. So I would estimate that it would take 4 months, 3 to 4 months to reach 15 lakhs. But the actual break even would come in 5 to 6 months.
Well, I think this was quite a detailed discussion we've had today. So friends, my request to all of you would be to reach out to us if you need more information, and we'll be happy to get you one-to-one meeting or a call. And we also have our teams who are leading respective regions. So we have Gayatri, who's part of our team in Telangana and AP, based out of Hyderabad. We also have Shiva, who's leading entire Karnataka. He's headquartered in Bangalore. And we also have Kapil, who's part of our team in Chennai to lead the entire region of Tamil Nadu. But before I go further, Mr. Khan, I also request if you want to share your, the priority cities. So South obviously is very, very focus market for us. But any important locations in South of India that you want to perhaps point out, and cities outside South where you would be keen to consider a request for a franchisee, having the understanding that you have a national tie-up with the railway. So any city the inquiry comes in, you'll be able to set it up and get it up and running.
Absolutely. Let me share the screen again. So this is the list of top 100 railway stations, which data is provided by IRCTC itself. One thing I have to clarify is that this tie-up with Indian Railways is not exclusive. There are going to be other restaurants in other cities that are actually doing the business today. And this data is from the stations where this business is going on today by other restaurants. So Nagpur is number 1. They are delivering 723 orders a day on an average, with an average daily sale of 2,53,000. Vijayawada is next. Kanpur, Itarsi, Bhopal. I will be sharing this list and I will go slow so that this gets reflected in the video recording also. So this is the list of top 100 railway stations, and we have arranged it state-wise. So if you're looking at, say, Andhra, for example. So these are the cities in Andhra with the highest number of proven sales. So it's better to go into a market where people already, something right is happening in those stations. It could be the number of trains. It could be the time of stoppage or halting of the train. It could be the number of platforms. It could be just the people who are aware of this facility being available to them. So I'll share this list of stations as well. We can sort it based on state. For example, in Maharashtra, this has, I think, the largest number of cities with
723 is per day order.
Yeah, 723 per day orders. Yes, average orders per day. So we can carry the goodwill that we have. And I have to say that being in Erode, Salem and Tirupur for so long, we are catering to the palates of North India or Central India. They are traveling to Kerala on vacation. Most of our orders come from such customers who are okay to try the authentic meals of that city, right? So when we set up a location in Sikandrabad, for example, we would have Hyderabadi biryani as one of the menu items. When we set it up in Kerala, Cochin, we will have Malabar biryani. We will have Done biryani in Hubli. So we will cater to the local palate as well, and also the traveling people who really want to try the authentic local flavor. And Biryanipalayam is known to have those varieties and local flavors as well.
Helpful, Mr. Khan. One last question which I'll ask while you put your restaurant on the platforms of Swiggy and Zomato. For railways, what is the process? If there's a new city or a new railway that you have tied up with,
Yeah.
how would a customer actually search you? What apps are being used? Are we having any
Okay.
specific app for the railways?
Sure. So I'll share my screen again.
And also, how is that promoted anytime a new launch is done?
Okay, great question. So this is the app. Obviously, I'm showing you the web version of it, but the app is called Food on Track. And the app allows the person to enter their PNR number or search based on the station. So if I search E-Road as a station here, it will pull up the restaurants available in E-Road, and you can see Biryanipalayam here. But then you will also see a lot of aggregators. So Zoop is one example of an aggregator which is present in several cities, and it has done its own marketing to promote the food on train business. And Zoop ties up with the best restaurants within every city and uses its name to attract such orders and provides it to the local restaurant. So Zoop, you will see Biryanipalayam, and inside Zoop, Rail Recipe, we will see Biryanipalayam under Rail Recipe. GoFoodie Online is an aggregator, so we are inside that. Biryanipalayam, this is the direct tie-up with Indian Railways. N-Store has Biryanipalayam in it. Rail Yatri has Biryanipalayam in it. Rail Food has Biryanipalayam in it, and Raj Bhog has Biryanipalayam in it. So even though the choices for the customer is many, it's actually aggregators, and they all these orders actually come to Biryanipalayam, right? So 92% of all the orders in E-Road come to Biryanipalayam. So we rely on, we rely on the aggregators to do their marketing and bring in customers. So there are people who will order only from Zoop wherever they travel. And if we happen to be in a city where Zoop is present, then we are under Zoop. Same with Rail Recipe. There are people who will only order from Rail Recipe. So we are there as well. Apart from that, we do a lot of marketing. I'll show you a small video. I hope that the audio will go through. Share screen, share the sound as well. Okay. So I'm going to share this small video of during this IPL.
Boss, the match is about to start. Have you ordered from Zomato?
No.
Will you?
No.
Will you be eating?
Yep.
How about some chicken biryani, bro?
From where?
From Biryanipalayam, man.
Mind is ruined.
Match na Zomato.
Zomato.
So we do such ads as well, tying up with Zomato, and also it is a fact that many people are not aware that they can order good food in the trains, right? Even I was not aware of it 3.5 years back. So I'm sure many do not know yet. What we do is we have printed out pamphlets and handouts, because when our delivery person is giving food to one person in the coach, there are 8 people watching him. Hey, how did this guy get shawarma? How did he get grilled chicken? So we actually distribute those pamphlets to everybody looking on. It has the QR code. It has all the details necessary for them to place order. But that order will go to the next station that the train touches. So this ties into the vision of my expansion plan, where if I fire in one marketing campaign in one city, it is going to benefit everybody else going north or going south, right? And also if we place an audiovisual ad in the railway station, asking the customers if they have planned for their food during their journey, and we entice them to open the app, then the very next stations with Biryanipalayam present is going to be shown to them, and they can choose whichever city that they want to order from, and it will be from Biryanipalayam. So this is the type of marketing that we do. We do it regularly, but I have to be quite honest. Now that we have gaps in between our locations, the marketing investment will not return its full potential back, because I can make the customer pick up the app, but the order might go to some other restaurant in the next city where we are not present. So I'm just waiting for that critical mass of the number of railway stations in subsequent railway junctions to actually fire up the full train delivery marketing.
Well, very interesting, Mr. Khan, and very informative. I'll just take one last question from our partner, Mr. Praveen, is on the capacity of a kitchen to handle the number of orders, right? Because when we talk about stops, these orders are required
Yes.
in certain quantum. So is there a level beyond which the orders cannot be delivered at a specific time or in a day?
I would love to have that problem. We have never run into that, and it's easy to solve. It means people love us, and they would they like us, they recommend us, and all it takes is one additional chef to help us prepare that deficit, right? And it's a good problem to have, like I said, and we can add in additional staff, but this 12 people set is enough to handle almost 2 times of what we have projected, right? And most of the projection, the HR, this thing is only delivery boys. 5 delivery boys are there. So the remaining people, enough to do almost double of our projected sales, and we can definitely handle it. One additional thing that I would just like to put in here is the benefit of having these locations. One is marketing, subsequent sequentially adjacent railway stations. When we have Biryanipalayam, marketing will be extremely useful. It will return back its investment. The other thing is we can take care of the customer and delight them. We have had a case where there was a train that was late by 3 hours, which was going to reach Tirupur at 9 p.m. Now it was going to reach only by 11:30. We called up the customer and said, your train is late, but it is going to cross E Road before it is going to go to Tirupur. So why don't we give you the food an hour and a half sooner? Though nobody can question us if we had made him wait till it reached that particular railway station, but we were available, we were present one station before. So we reduced the time, waiting time for the customer. So we delighted this customer, and he became a big word of mouth promoter of our brand. Another time, there were 20 orders in one train. We missed one. Again, we called up the customer and said, we apologized. And we said, if you can wait for 40 minutes, we will give you the food in the very next railway station. So this is the power of having our locations next to each other.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Mr. Khan, for being with us today and sharing this opportunity with all our viewers. And before we close, I'll request if there's a last message for everybody who's listening to you. Any message, Mr. Khan, that you want to share before we close?
Sorry. Thanks everybody for this platform, for your patient listening and your questions. I was very happy to share my experience and this franchise model with you all. And I hope we have a good journey ahead of us together. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Khan. And thank you, friends, for being with us today. We'll leave our coordinates in the chat box. You can reach out to us for any further discussion. And I'll request Neha now to take over for her concluding remarks.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Mr. Khan. Thank you all the panelists for joining us and giving your brand details and inputs for all the participants who have joined us today. Guys, I'm sure the brand details which we have shared with you are going to help you out and benefit you. In case you want to have any discussion with us for one-to-one, you can connect at our hotline number, which is 9717683838. You can also write us at feedback@franchiseindia.in. Tomorrow we are not coming. We're coming on Saturday now with the Super Park. This is an international brand. This is Finland's leading all-in-one indoor family activity park. I have shared the registration link into the chat window. You can click on the link and you can get yourself registered to attend this business opportunity on Saturday. You can join us and you can understand the business opportunity in detail, and you can be a part of this brand to start your franchisee business. Today evening we are coming at 7 p.m. To brief you or to give opportunities with some good education brands. So if you want to explore education industry and if you want to be a part of education industry, please join us today evening at 7 p.m. Again, I have shared the webinar details and registration link into the chat window. You can click on that link and you can get yourself registered to join us in the evening. Thank you so much everyone for joining us. Have a lovely day ahead. Thank you all the panelists.